Hey everybody, it's Connor MacIvor and Tim Blankenship with us today. Of course, we're both on the Santa Clarita Insider Show for Santa Clarita Valley, talking about what's going on, news, local events, travel. Tim breaks into a divorce segment because that's his business. He talks to people and helps them through the entire divorce process, beginning to end, when you're amicable and maybe need to become amicable. He does very well with that. And I'm on the real estate end of it. Good day, Tim. How are you?
I'm doing well, Connor. It's good to see you again this morning. Tuesdays at 8 o'clock.
It seems early, but we've both been up since probably what, 5, working out, and then
I
we got
can't,
ready
I
for
can't
this.
help it. Up early every day.
Yeah, same. It's that LAPD programming. It doesn't stop.
For sure. For sure.
So Valentine's Day. Well, happy Valentine's Day, brother. I would ask you
Same to
if
you.
you'd be mine, but I don't know if you have room on your dance card.
I am good. My wife gets mad at me if I buy flowers on Valentine's Day or close to Valentine's Day because the flower prices go up so high.
Did you see it? Did you look at
Yeah,
these? They were 12
when I was
bucks
in
a
Rouse, I
dozen,
was
like forever.
laughing because,
Oh my
here's a
God, you got the
picture. I
picture.
think I cut you out here. $60 for a basic bouquet. This is the Rouse here in North Park, but yeah, they really get you,
Oh
at the
my
end and make
God.
money. It's kind of like what happened with our gas bill recently. It doubled.
Yep.
Everything goes up. They take advantage. So yeah, my wife gets mad when I pay these prices. So I actually went to Sam's Club on Friday.
Okay.
$16 for about the same thing.
Okay.
And yeah, we just, they're dead now, but they look okay.
But they look good that day.
Yeah. So yeah, we just kind of do it early, and we're not forced into the whole must go to dinner on Tuesday or that sort of thing. So
Sure.
just do the flowers. You got her something from Pandora. Already they came early, so I gave that to her. So yeah, I don't know. I think Valentine's is a funny another forced. What my wife and I call most holidays kind of forced holidays. Christmas forced gatherings and Thanksgiving forced gatherings.
The
So
Simpsons did real good making fun of that. They came up with a new holiday called Love Day,
oh,
and
is that
then
right?
Homer got really pissed off at Bart and says, "I'm not going to let you ruin another Love Day." Anyway, yeah, it's good. That was just one of those things. I thought I'd throw it out there. But yeah, no, I'm with you with that. Yeah, I was in
Yeah,
the supermarket
it's funny.
yesterday, surprised at the prices of the flowers. Very expensive.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
if you go there this morning, like what is it, it's 8 o'clock now. If we were to go there, you'd see probably even earlier guys in there swarming the flower market, in Ralph's swarming the cards, all last minute. And then the next
Right.
rush is at lunch, and the next rush
Yeah.
is, after work. There's so many better ways to do this. You could have them ordered, have them delivered. I mean, plan maybe 2 days ahead, not 10 minutes ahead. The day's coming.
And throw up that picture again of the flowers that you put there. What
Yeah,
do you have
sure.
that? You have that handy? Yeah. So these aren't even a dozen roses. I wonder what a dozen roses goes for.
Yeah, I don't know that there's even roses in there.
Oh,
That didn't get much bigger. There might be one, but these are just your generic carnations and
wow, 50,
whatnot.
$60. Wow, pretty good. Good for
Yeah,
them.
Sam's Club had these for like $16, and they also had a dozen roses for $16. And that's fair. You can get, for half of this cost, you can get for $30, you can get a dozen of these and a dozen roses, and you're good to go.
Well, welcome to first world problems.
Yeah,
It's really
exactly.
tough. I love it.
So, well, that covers Valentine's Day. It'll be interesting, every year after Valentine's Day, kind of divorces pick up a bit.
Oh,
Excuse me. And the joke is that this was the spouse's, in whatever direction you want to point that, last chance, probably directed towards the husband,
of
last
course.
chance to do something right and really show their affection, or this is the last straw.
And that's it. And then
So
they're done. That's
yeah.
it after
So yeah,
this.
I think this is kind of the last holiday, after, we Christmas, New Year's, and, kids get back to school. And this is kind of the last straw, if you will, to where really divorce kicks off. So I just thought I'd segue onto that real quick. But what did you want to talk about next? I think we had a couple of things about crime
So
and
I'm looking, as we always do, doing our research,
yeah.
and one of the things that popped up on the radar via the sheriff's Twitter feed here in SCV And then also there's a link back over to the city of Santa Clarita. And it was this cute little Lioli.
Yeah, let me pull that up for you.
Lioli,
Mhm.
lock it or lose it. Okay, so that's what that stands for. It has a has a real estate connotation too. Love it or list it, but we're not talking about love it or list it. We're going back to what the city is saying,
Yeah.
and this is on the sheriff's Twitter feed. So I'm thinking, oh, okay. So then you see a key, see a cute couple with a key, and then another cat at the bottom. If you go to the actual website, he has a key. And so I'm thinking, I wonder if this is something you purchase. So then I'm doing all the mental research. How is this going to interface with different vehicles? I'm because it has keys. Everybody's holding a key.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking, well, let's click through. And then you show me you caught the Facebook link on the
Yeah.
SCV sheriff on Twitter. So click on that.
I'm
And
gonna
then you
pull
get
that up
some,
right now for you.
yeah, you get some music and it loads real nice, but it doesn't go anywhere. So then you Google, as we all would, Lioli. Is that pulling it up on the page there?
Yeah, it's on. I have the Twitter sheriff's Twitter
So if you
page up here.
scroll down a little bit, see
Yeah.
if it's, yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
So that's it right there. So, you would, I don't know. I thought it was some kind of membership thing. And then if you click on the city link and go to the
Uh-huh.
city's website,
And that goes here.
yes, you see the cat at the bottom, he's the couple, the cute couple,
Yeah.
he says it saved their marriage, and she said, "No, it didn't, but the theft sure stopped." I'm thinking, "Okay, I'm excited. Let's see what this is all about." And then you scroll down to the other cat, and he says something about it's better than walking on the ocean or walking, I
Yeah.
don't know, it's a lot.
So prior to recording this, we spent probably 10 minutes talking about this, trying to figure out what this was about. Is it, you said, like, is it a membership site? Is it something new at the city? Is it, we're trying to Google it, find a link to a website. And I
I
think,
mean, it promises, Tim, unleash an amazing theft-free life
yeah,
with Lioli. For a free trial, simply visit your vehicle and lock it up.
yeah. So it
And
took us,
that's
what,
right.
a good 10 minutes to figure out that this was just a way of reminding you to lock your cars and get your packages out of sight. It was just a big nothing.
Yeah, don't put cables, don't have chargers in there. I mean, chargers
Yeah.
will go for a couple bucks. So if you got a vagrant or a bad guy breaking into cars, he sees that cable, you might think, well, this cable's not worth anything. But when he packages that with maybe a couple cell phones he got from other cars or maybe an iPad, runs it over to the local shop and rob or the pawn shop, he's going to get maybe 2 or 3 or 5 extra bucks for that cable because now he's got the cable. So you want to keep all that stuff out of plain sight. You don't want it where they can see it in your car at all.
Unless you have electronics or your phone or your purse or, um, I don't know, if you left your cell phone or computer or whatnot, or packages from
Mhm.
shopping, usually the most expensive cost of a break-in is the actual window being broken.
Right. Very true.
So that's why, I think in this here, there's one of the comments is, safer than leaving your doors unlocked. So I think people have just, there was when Hawaii opened back up,
Mhm.
there was a popular tourist area and flooded with cars, and there everyone was parking on the road, and they were having a rash of break-ins into the cars. They were parking on this road because there's no security. You just park and leave your vehicle there, and there's a lot
Right.
of break-ins. So the police actually said, it's better just to leave your doors unlocked so they can just freely go in and not break your window. Just, don't have anything in there, but leave your door open or doors unlocked. So that's our crime suppression these days, is
Perfect.
make it easier for the criminal.
Yeah, well, that way they get in your car, they rummage through all your stuff and find out you don't have anything, and then they can, I don't know what they call it, have a hobo party in there. It's just, yeah, it'd be nasty. But yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Good.
You
Good
know what they do
suggestion.
inside those cars.
Well, and they have that. It's dialed in just right. Most deductibles and car insurance are $500. The window's about 450,
Yep,
480.
exactly.
So, thanks a lot. And then
And
if you claim it,
good news there. It's under the what is it? $1,000 for anything under $1,000 is a misdemeanor. So no crime there either.
yeah, they just kind of walk away. And if they get caught, I don't even know. They frick them. Remember a field release from custody? Frick.
Yeah.
Frick.
That's basically what that whole catch and release and zero bail is a frick. I mean, it's,
Yeah.
it's just with the added booking. and you get a citation, come back.
Right. They
Never
write you
come
a
back.
ticket. You got a court date on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's
You
no other
noticing?
verification of identity either. Everybody thinks that, wow, everybody that gets confronted by the police, we know exactly who they are. There's many times where the crime is of whatever the city and the powers that be deem to be a low value crime, not a big deal according to the powers that be, because it's not murder, right? So whenever we're fricking them, and even when we're writing citations or whatever, you just get their name. They don't have ID. You do your best to verify it. God forbid they have a common name, Code 6 Charles at your location, which is because it's such a common name. There's somebody named, I bet your money, Jose Gonzalez that's got a felony
Oh,
warrant
yeah.
out for him.
Yep. For sure. The one thing this whole lock it and leave it thing doesn't address is kind of the crime we're seeing. I made some notes here. It seems like every day there's something about catalytic converter thefts or people breaking into mailboxes. And, our sheriff's department is great. I have to hand it to them. They're catching, these guys driving down the road with mail in their cars, and they're doing investigations, or they've, finding people with 20 catalytic converters heading out of town. It's crazy. I know they have, I should have looked that up. They have folks out there. You can go and get your catalytic converter etched, with some type of serial number, so you can be located if it's found. But we've had that on our block. We've had catalytic converters stolen, and you don't know it till you get in your car, and next thing you know, it sounds like it's a spaceship,
And not like a Tesla spaceship either.
No, correct. So,
oh, that's good. I want to see where that is.
Well, good job to the sheriffs and the city of Santa Clarita for tricking us.
Yeah, boy, that took. I was looking, and then the Facebook page has some music and a little bit more animated photo of the Lioli. Yeah. Anyway, so that's good. Good job. So that's on the crime front.
Yeah.
And then there was another one. I like this hashtag. They also, they pulled down some narcotics and a couple guns.
Yeah, I guess we're just a big city now. I feel like there's sirens running up and down McBean all day long, whether it be paramedics or fire, or, the sheriff's department. And some of this crime, if you read through these, they're not people from our town. So Huntington Beach residents resident, for instance, but also people that live here. A lot of drugs, a lot of guns. People think this is, there was another article, I think, on the sheriff's station Twitter that, fourth safest city, which is good. But still, with that comes considerable crime. And this is just showing the Signal SCV page, and it's just riddled with crime. And we're just in February here, and these aren't minimal. These are firearms. These are drugs. These are possession, ammunition, and so forth. So anyways, saddens us. The crime has found us here in Santa Clarita and has for a while.
Yeah, and everybody needs to just take a moment. Don't be in a rush to jump out of your car. Don't be in a rush to run into your house. Just sit there for a second. Don't be in a rush to leave. Just give it a second. Look around, see what's going on. Just ask yourself these questions. Anything here doesn't look right? What here might not look right? What sticks out? What's strange? You'll identify all sorts of weird things, but we're all too busy trying to get to buy those $60 roses from the store.
Exactly.
Too much in a hurry. Okay, so that was on that. One of the things I wanted to bring up, if you don't mind now, I wanted to talk about, remember we had the Tri-Point issue with the landslide there? So I put that in the show notes as well. We can include this, but they're going to be looking at Tri-Point. Those builders are looking at remediation plans to try to figure out.
This was what we talked about last week, the landslide.
Right. Correct. Yeah, the same one. And apparently 8 feet was the distance that the land slid from, I guess, back property line.
Like that's how much property they lost?
Right. 8 feet. And they red tagged it. And they're putting a remediation plan in place for 5 remaining homes, about 7 weeks, I guess. And they're going to stick I-beams back there and cinch up that hillside. So we had those questions, right? It's going to be home insurance. What's it going to be? It looks like they took responsibility. They're going to do it.
So who took the responsibility? The builder?
TriPoint, I guess.
Yeah.
They were very excited to take care of it. Apparently, it's going to be $1 million, maybe more. It's never $1 million. It's going to be.
That's good. They jumped on it.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, thank God. Right.
Well, we can keep up on that because was this a Melrose community? Do you recall?
They are. Yeah, TriPoint is.
I think it would be the way everything new is these days.
Yeah, 0.5 or 0.7 is going to be about that Melrose tax. So you got the typical 1.25% or thereabout for LA County property taxes. The Melrose are going to be about another 0.5 or 0.7 on top of it. I think here is 0.5 if memory serves. I've sold a few of these new. And that goes kind of forever, pretty much everything. I know that Toll Brothers, they were paying those off at the beginning, because that's what Melrose really is. It's basically the builder not going to pay for the necessary infrastructure costs of public safety, street lighting, green belts, whatever it may be, streets, school. Right. And they pass that on to each individual homeowner, whether you're going to be using those services or not. And they did that test back when Stevenson Ranch was first built, Senators Mello and Ruse, and boy, the people said no problem. And it just kept going.
Is that you said? Is that senators' names?
Yep, Mello and Ruse. Yeah,
I had no idea.
Yeah, those are people.
Real estate trivia.
Yeah, right.
I'd never heard that. That's so interesting.
Yeah, one's last name Mello and one Ruse.
So. Yeah. Hey, I wanted to. I showed you this earlier. I wanted to. I don't know if do you eat out often? Do you go out to dinner?
Yeah, quite a bit.
Yeah, we do not. We are mostly eat at home. We like to smoke meat, and so we'll have we'll do like a brisket maybe once or twice a month. So that'll last us for a couple days. So we eat at home. But when we do go out lately, the food prices, and this has been making the news. The inflation cost has gone up considerable. And then what we found is that we had this surprising, and this was us at a local restaurant here in Santa Clarita. We noticed this surcharge on here, and
look at that.
It wasn't the first time we had seen it. We, when we look at the menu, it says charge, but it doesn't say what it's for.
Right.
So I did a little research on this, and the interesting thing is I actually had seen this back a couple of years ago, just as the restaurants were kind of opening again. I want to say like 2019, 20, when they reopened. So we were down in San Diego having dinner and saw the surcharge fee on there and asked what it was. And they said it's just to help cover the costs of the employees. So it's your, ability to help the restaurant owner pay the cost of their employee, which seems kind of odd to me because you have prices of the food going up already. You have, right? Then they're going to add an additional surcharge. And, it's not, 4% of, oops, wrong one. It's an extra $6. So what do you do with that? Do you reduce that so this is going to the restaurant,
right? Not
to the waiter or waitress. And so what do you do? I did some research on this. People are complaining and they're just removing it. Sometimes people are deducting this from the tip they would normally give, things like that. I actually had found a YouTube video on a play here that talks about it specifically. Mm-hmm. And I'm curious what other people, watching think about the surcharge. Because I think a lot of people will just go along with it. We just keep getting taxed and
probably don't even notice for the most part.
Yeah, so I'm just going to play this here briefly.
Yeah, please.
The San Diegans, they are worried about the growing trend of some of their favorite places to eat.
Dozens of restaurants are adding an extra surcharge. And 10 News reporter Jeff Lasky spoke with customers who say they refuse to pay.
San Francisco.
You mentioned that.
Many popular San Diego restaurants, customers are finding much more than just food and sales tax on their bill.
Went out to dinner with my wife, and I think it was called Indigo Grill. And I walked in and I noticed this on the bill.
Stephen Fisher is describing the first time he saw this extra surcharge at the bottom of his bill. It's become common among higher-end restaurants around San Diego, an extra 2 to 4%, with the explanation that it's because of rising costs, specifically California's increasing minimum wage. Fisher complains whenever he sees a restaurant use that surcharge.
So I called the manager over and let her know. I found it offensive, and she was very apologetic. It's not her fault. And they said they almost always tell me that they find it offensive too, but they can't do anything about it.
Fisher is seeing the surcharge more often. The Cone Group uses it at more than 24 local restaurants.
Yep,
Carl
Island
Strauss has a
Pine,
big
that's
sign right out
exactly where I've
front
seen
with
it.
surcharge in big letters. I met Fisher outside another restaurant with the surcharge, Brigantine. I asked them why they used the surcharge rather than just raise prices. They emailed back saying transparency. Rather than just arbitrarily raise menu prices, we felt that it was better to let our guests know why we are raising prices. Fisher doesn't buy it.
That rings hollow because they don't put on there a surcharge for their corporate.
So that's it in a nutshell. And, you know, if restaurants can get away with this, you know, what if you added that to your sales commission? You know, you sell a home and then, by the way, as an extra % for cover my health care.
Oh my gosh. Well, you're walking on icy ground. Let me tell you why, because there are some in my business that they have different charges, including fees for their office rental, their transaction coordinator fees, whether it's right or wrong, but they do that. They charge their client these extra fees.
Kind of padding it a bit with extra fees.
Absolutely. And it's in there, but like, you know, we talked about, a lot of people don't look, and that's a problem because that's not transparency. That's hiding something. You should say, hey, listen, part of my fee is going to cover my office here. Part of my fee is going to cover my transaction coordinator. Like this, they should label that. If that's really to try to adjust the rate per hour that California is rising to, that living wage for every business, they should put that in there. This is the living wage increase, and then make that part of it so we at least know what we're paying, not some surcharge. It doesn't.
It sounds like they covered it up by calling it healthcare so people wouldn't complain. Right? Oh, it's for healthcare, you know, especially
healthcare
with
subsidy
what we went
fee
through.
No,
exactly.
I agree, but I bet you dollars to donuts, most people don't even notice. They just
one thing that I've done for 10 years in my business is having flat fees, no hidden costs, right? You're never slapped with another fee. We don't charge hourly rates. We don't do retainers. It's just one flat fee. So, you know, to do this is kind of catch-22. You can, you know, here's our flat fee, but also here's these, you know, did you want this to actually be filed, or just some weird add-on? Because I don't see we don't get better service for that 4% service fee or surcharge, right? There's no additional benefit in that.
And the same thing with real estate people. They're clever. They'll put, okay, for this level of service, this is what I charge. But if you don't want to pay that, then I can do this level of service. But at the end of the day, it's the same liability, same everything. It's better just to go in. I do this with every single listing, and it works. It historically has worked, and this is what the fee is, and that's it. Instead of all this extra crap, like you say, it's misleading and it's disingenuous. It's not right. I don't like it.
I think you had some trail maps you want to go over here.
So, you know, master plan community, but you know, you and we get on the paseos quite a bit. I do walks every day. I think you do walks maybe twice a day.
It's a forced walk.
Forced walk. Well, he is an adorable dog. I just got to give you that. But
everyone knows him, and I've been labeled the man who walks a lot in our neighborhood.
Well, that brings us to the paseos, because it's a wonderful thing, and they have this interactive map here. We'll throw this into the show notes too. But
so this is Santa-Clarita.com.
Correct. And then you just Google paseo maps, and then they have these interactive maps. But some of these trails I hadn't been on, Tim. There's one that goes behind the Starbucks at Newhall Ranch Road in Bouquet. And when you take that trail, bear to the right, if you park at Starbucks, they actually have parking for the trail if you're not in the Starbucks parking lot. And then if you bear right on that trail, it'll take you up and around the houses at River Village. But then you'll see a park on your left. If you walk up that park, then it goes over. There's water back there now because of the rain. There's a stream, so you can hear running water when you get back there. And then you walk up a couple switchbacks and you get up to the very top of Newhall Ranch Road. And then you just come back and do it again. Or if you continue, you'll cross over that oil pipe,
right?
That oil pipe. So there's actually a bridge they built to the oil pipe, and that jumps up just, I guess that'd be north of Sam's Club. That pops up, but that's a good 2-hour walk from the Starbucks up there and back. It's nice.
But my neighbor, he was trained for marathon, I believe, a year or two ago. And he was, the nice thing about it is you can pretty much, and he would get up to the 26 miles, or was it 26K? I forget.
Yeah, 26.
But he was able to do that, 99% on paseos versus running on the streets. So
big advantage. Yeah, you don't have to worry about your kids, unless they get hit by other bicyclists that are, cruising there at Mach 5. But other than that, it's pretty safe. I haven't had really any issue. Yeah.
So you hit different trails all the time, or do you find yourself sticking to the same path?
I like that one because I know where it is. There's another one that I think I'm going to branch out to. It's the one that goes by the McDonald's there in McBean and Magic Mountain. You park just north of there in next to the McDonald's parking lot. There's that paseo that runs all the way down to another bridge.
So that's we ride our bikes on that quite a bit. So that is you can grab that anywhere. So that runs, I think they call that Iron Horse Trail.
Okay.
And you can jump on that there at the McDonald's. You can also down by that bridge you're talking about, and that would be going, I guess, west towards the 5 freeway. And there's another parking lot there, and the places
you'd miss it. If you're not looking, you'd miss that.
Oh, for sure. And but they also have a place where you can offload horses and so forth, because I think they go down into the wash.
Oh wow.
There, but that circles around, circles back, and then what it does is it'll circle back around, and it will parallel the wash, and then that'll take you. And there's 2 sides to it, so it'll be on the west side. It'll take you all the way down to Copper Hill, and then you can take Copper Hill to the right, and you can jump on the other part of it coming back, and it does a nice big loop. I want to say
that goes behind Creekside. It
goes all behind Creekside.
On the other side. It goes up there. I haven't been. I've been up to. I haven't been all the way to Copper Hill yet. So okay, I gotcha.
I think if you do that loop, it's about 8 miles.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So definitely, if you're going to do that loop on Iron Horse Trail, it's probably a bike, unless you're a runner.
Yeah, it's a healthy walk too. That's 3 hours
for sure.
Thanks. Yeah, walking's great, but 3 hours is a lot.
No, like I said, we take our dog out hour in the morning, hour in the evening. Right. No option. He'll literally at the door stare at us, start moaning, whining, and he's 10, so it's impressive. There's just some nights, rain or shine, pouring rain. I think he likes the rain better than the sun.
Right.
He loves it. Yeah, Labrador. Go figure.
Yeah, who would have thought? They bred him for that for a reason, I guess.
Yep. So this week, just going back over to the divorce side of things, I've been talking about things to consider before you get married. Yesterday, I did about a 30-minute live broadcast on our show, my divorce podcast, talking about, because I've said we've done like 1,500 videos now about how to get divorced and how to do the paperwork and so forth. Right. So I decided to start talking about different things before you get married. So yesterday I did about 30 minutes talking about 8 points of things to consider, like religion, discuss with your spouse, talk about religion, talk about, do you want kids, talk about, money and where you want to live and dealing with family and just all the topics that I think maybe our youth aren't talking about. And in there, it's funny because I was telling Elia, my wife, about what I was going to do, try and do this podcast on. And she goes, remember before we got married, we would come back from dinner and park the car. And before we got out, you said, look, this is getting serious. Let's have a chat. And we literally talked about all of these, just knocked them off one by one.
Sure.
And like, hey, what's your politics? This. Okay. What, you want kids? Yes or no? Yes. Do you want, we just knocked it out. And in 10 minutes, we were good. So you can find that
saved you this long. That's fantastic. Good
you can find that on our Divorce 661 website. I want to show you this, Connor. This might be something you might want to include on your website. I found a way through YouTube to embed the live shows here.
Nice. Good for local businesses looking.
Yeah. So here's the live shows that I do for my channel. Beautiful. And what's nice is if they will live on here so that you can watch them right on the site. I might have too much going on with my computer, but you can watch.
It just puts up a ghost screen and then you can watch the video there and then it returns.
Yeah. So you can watch the replay here. So that's the one I did yesterday. Anyways, it's a good way to have the shows hosted as far as what's coming up. So I just wanted to share that real quick. But what I want to talk about today is, so yesterday we talked about things to talk about, and money was one of them. And this, I'm going to do a 12 today, a podcast on this. And this dives in deeper to the money part of it, about talking about money. So I'll be talking about this today at 12. But it just goes over, and this is Northwestern Mutual. We have a rep out here. His name is Alan Wolf. This is him. Right. And maybe we'll get him on the show because I wanted to kind of do a deeper dive on what he does and how he can help folks in this. But Northwestern Mutual, they have some content generating machines out there kicking out content. He's always posting on LinkedIn, right? Content. But yeah, so just wanted to do a shout out to my other show that we'll be talking about, going over how you can, discussions on money before you get married.
People get to that one.
Yeah. So
how can they get to it on just Divorce 661? Or how are they gonna find that one?
Yeah. So these are all live streamed, 12 o'clock Monday through Friday, different topics. And you can find them on LinkedIn. You can find them on Facebook, divorce661.com Facebook group. So Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And it also actually streams through our website. It'll pick it up live.
Good. Okay.
There as well. So you can click on it. And I could show you again, but if I pulled it up and it wasn't a video that had played yet, it'll actually say live today at 12. So it'll let them know when to come back. So maybe we can talk about that in our business/marketing section.
Absolutely.
As well.
Yeah.
So
no, that's good. And I think for the business owners out there, people that are trying to start up a business, that exposure is critical, especially with video now, because people want that instant gratification, and podcasts are good as well for that content. But really, video is the key player right now. And putting
it is
informational, educational videos. I think Tim and I both attest that that's probably the best way. Instead of out there pitching how great we are, we say, hey, listen, if you want to do this yourself, this is how you do it. And then if you need our help, great, then you give us a buzz. But this is really the best way to do it. It's from that educational view. I think that's very important.
As opposed to, I love and realtors are great at this, not you, but in self-promoting themselves on social media, we're so and they try and sell it as we're so, happy to have helped these 72 families we sold homes for this year. Right. It's not about them. It's about you saying you sold 72 homes. We're not stupid. We can read through your,
But you take that out, and I'll take one of those people, and maybe they had a problem, and this is what they encountered, and this is how we fixed it. And so if you get involved in that, whether you use me or not, use somebody else, then you know how that issue should potentially be solved, or maybe another option for your agent. But a lot of people in both of our industries, very short-sighted, and they just want that money, and they really don't want to do the extra work maybe to try to navigate the buyer or seller more safely. They just don't think of it that way. No, you're right. That's very true.
Yeah. So we could talk about that more if you like. Just the YouTube embed. It's basically the trick to that is when you're in your YouTube studio, use a tag, not a tag. What do they call it? Let me just pull it up so I can
hashtag. No,
say that again.
A hashtag? No,
not a hashtag.
Oh, a playlist.
What's that?
A playlist.
Playlist. Thank you.
So you're going to name it under a particular playlist?
Yeah. So if you put it under a playlist, you can grab the link to the playlist.
Oh, so you're embedding the playlist in that page.
Right. And so as long as I tag the video, and so what I did is, I think my playlist is live video or something like that. So if you grab a playlist, then go to that playlist, grab the link to the playlist, embed that on a page on your website, it'll bring up, and like I showed you, it'll bring up all the videos in that playlist.
And it formats them 3 across, or just it's
so it gives you, it gives you an option it gives you an option, I think, with trying to stream and pull up the website. So it gives you an option of how you want it to show so this, I think they call this like a gallery view. So these are the live shows we've done. I don't know why the other one coming up. Oh, you know what? I bet I didn't tag it. I do want to show you that because it's very cool. Let me go into my studio real quick. Because I did it as a live stream, you don't really do the tags until after the fact.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
if I go in there and I change see, I had it on the wrong. So I'll change that to recorded live. Save this.
So on that same video page, I noticed the horizontal or the vertical, the SoundCloud, that's different. Your book offering, that's different. So the playlist is what's going to be populating here. So if you had a full screen, you might go 4. Is it HTML5 responsive? Can you take that screen and shrink it down and it'll go to 1 video?
Through this this YouTube, whatever this WordPress add-on is, it'll allow you to set it up. But yeah, it's all like if you pull this up on a phone, I think it will just do 1 across. It'll format. So sure. I added that. I just want to show you that this is a pretty cool feature.
Okay.
So it's not coming up yet. It'd probably take a while, but so this other video I'm doing at 12 o'clock today, I'm glad we were going over this. That'll now show up as the next video. And when you hover over it, instead of it having a play button down here, it'll say today live at 12 o'clock.
All right.
And then once you do the streaming, so they can actually come here and watch it through your website as opposed to YouTube, Facebook, or LinkedIn and the other places we stream.
Right.
They can actually come here and watch it live.
Get ready to watch it. Right.
Yeah. Then once that is over, it still will live here to be watched because it's still embedded here. Like these are all live streams, but people can still go watch them.
I love it.
That's the link. So yeah, it's pretty neat way. It was kind of a workaround to, I think they call it RTMP. It's where you get a custom embed code, but it was very techy for me to try and do. So this was a workaround to get them to be able to stream directly through. And it's probably going to take a while for that to change through YouTube for that to show, but yeah, pretty neat there.
So if they had a non-WordPress committed site, you would have to have the code created to reflect this way.
So this is a just a free YouTube
it's the plugin, right?
Plugin. Yeah, okay. There's different ones.
Right.
And it just allows you to select how you want to display it, but there's no reason you couldn't just grab the playlist itself.
Does it offer an embed code on a playlist? I don't remember.
It does. Exactly.
Oh, okay. Then you're done. Yeah, that's it. You got it.
Just grab the playlist, and what it'll probably the way it'll probably display is just vertical. If you have ever pulled up a playlist, let me pull up one of my so if you go to, let's see, content. I'm just doing this off screen because I'm within my on here playlists. So let me pull this over here. If you go into your playlists here, because you have videos, live, posts, playlists, and here's the live link. You can click on it. Here's the list, right?
Okay.
So this is I'm assuming if you just grab this and then cut this in as a page, right into your WordPress site, and then put that up on maybe as a where are we at here? Maybe as a tab like I did here. And I'm sure that maybe they'll just display just like we saw here.
Right? If you have it with that plugin, that YouTube plugin you have that works. I'm curious though. It's not going to work on a non-WordPress site. You would need the embed code, not just the link. And I'm trying to see if it even offers that. Playlist saved to library.
Oh, you're talking about embed versus the link itself?
Correct.
Yeah.
Download, save, report. No. What's that do? No, that doesn't do it. Well, stick with WordPress and you got it. It comes easy.
That seems to be the way to go, you know?
Let me ask you this, are you self-hosted, or do you still have somebody that kinda pays attention to all the creeps out there wanting to break into your site?
Yeah, so I still am using Chris over at, I think it's
Kinetic
Kinetic.
Knowledge? Oh, good,
Yeah,
okay.
Kinetic Knowledge. Um, I mean, really, all they do is the hosting. Um, I'm pretty active. You know, I know that they do all kinds of other services, you know, marketing and Google AdWords and all that.
Yeah,
I've just paid the hosting fee for since you referred me to them for probably
yeah.
8, 9,
Oh, it's
shoot,
been a long
10
time.
years.
I'd probably go at least that, yeah.
Yeah, so they just do that, and I'm involved in the back end, updating plugins and doing our, you know, posts and adding different things and the layout and so forth. So yeah, I think we're both active in our blog, right? Doing posts and videos and all
Definitely.
that. It saves me a lot of money, you know, not asking them to do every little tweak. Sometimes if it's you know, technical, I'll ask them, or you know, Diane, you know, she's
Oh,
doing
sure.
stuff on the websites and she's sometimes a little bit faster to get to things. So I'll use her for that. But
Yeah,
yeah,
sometimes it's a lot easier than trying to figure it out, especially if you got other stuff you gotta do.
yeah, because it can take some time to learn. And but yeah, that's good. And then one other thing I wanted to share with you. I don't know, you know how I brought this video up earlier,
Yeah,
right? It's very
yeah,
clean.
looks
Um
good, right?
in here, you can hear it. And I always wondered how are, because the streaming is huge. And this, have you heard the term reaction video or react video?
Yes.
So that's like all the rave or rage or
Yeah,
right now.
some person of noteworthiness goes on there and he puts up a video or something and just makes his comment over it and plays a little
Exactly.
bit, talks
Kind of like
about
we
it.
did when we played this, right? And I think most of
Right.
them are trying to be funny or
Sure.
whatnot, but they also have like attorneys react to movies. Like they'll, you know, how, you know, they solve a crime every episode and they'll comment on, you know,
Is
just
it
for
true? Is
content.
this possible? Do cops really operate that way, you know?
Exactly. Exactly. Oh, that gives me an idea. We could add one react episode to our
Yeah,
show
we could
here,
have it
pull something down.
we
Yeah,
could
that'd be
do
funny
Lethal
to go
Weapon and
over.
the Mel Gibson role and how after shooting all those people, he was able to go have lunch and, just continue on his day.
Yeah, exactly. I love that. So yeah, that actually would be fun to do. That'd be a
Yeah, I'd
fun
like that.
segment to do. I think we'll
We'll
talk
throw that
offline
in
on that.
there.
But what
Reaction police segment.
I always wondered, how do you get these videos? Like, how do you can't download a YouTube video. If you hit download on someone's video, it just downloads it to your downloads within your YouTube channel.
Right, not offsite, yeah.
So I guess they're called downloaders, YouTube downloaders.
Okay.
So they have a bunch of free ones, but they're very clunky. So I actually paid for one yesterday, and it, you know, downloads right to your computer. It's very you know, in 1080. It's cheap, $29 for a year. You can't go wrong. So I can get, you know, this is a news channel 10 in San Diego. They put their video on YouTube, so I was able to download it and then play it within our show here and then comment on it. So it was very cool to be able to do that. So the video I did yesterday was the same thing. I found a video that talked about these 8 different topics to discuss before divorce, and I would play segment, you know, reason 1, topic 1 to talk about, see what they said, and then I gave my opinion on that, added my comments, and then how that relates to divorce. For instance, in one of them, it was, do you want to have kids? And, you know, talk about that before marriage. And I talked about how we have done divorces for people who one party wanted a child and the other didn't, and that was the sole reason for the divorce. So I kind of added my 2 cents on the divorce front, even though this was things to talk about before getting married. I talked about it from the alternative, like, because this is what'll happen, because how we've seen it end in divorce. So interesting, but very cool, and very happy with this streaming software. I've read an article that if you do a live stream broadcast versus a YouTube upload with the same thumbnail, same content, same title, same tags,
all that stuff, yeah.
that YouTube will push your live stream more than that video itself. as a regular upload. So, and apparently as the stream goes on, they will, so like we have our, this set up on both of our LinkedIn's, I believe, both YouTube's and Facebook pages. So it's streaming out to all that at the same time. So it will, once I create the show, it will, and I don't know if you've seen it on your page. It says, hey, there's a show coming up. So that'll show for, if we schedule it out, I think we scheduled this show 3 days in advance.
Right.
So it'll show there. It'll just sit there saying coming up. And then it will do another update. I got an email or alert on LinkedIn 30 minutes before saying, we're about to go live. Mm-hmm. And then as the show, so on YouTube specifically, as the show is going on, YouTube will continue to push that out. Hey, they're live. Hey, they're live. So
nice.
Yeah. So
well, it was the same thing. It was the same thing they did with their, maybe very similar to their algorithm change when they wanted to compete with the Chinese-based TikTok company and try to make something similar. So they came up with a Shorts program.
Right.
And as you've seen some of those videos, and I can't figure out the rhyme or reason to it, but some of them just hit like gangbusters big, 2, 3. I have one of those things got almost 11,000 views.
Yeah.
And, some of them don't. Same content, same type of stuff, but it's time of day dependent, hashtag dependent. There's just a lot to it. And I think the more volatile the title, which titles are everything, without being misleading, but the more volatile, using words like pain and anger and hostility or, failure and these sorts of things, that grabs a lot more attention versus, Mickey Mouse and, sunshine, rainbows and cotton candy. So,
I've been noticing that in your, on YouTube. I want to talk about TikTok too, because it seems like that might be getting banned from the US soon.
Oh yeah. It seems like everybody's going.
Yeah. But, your titles of your workout videos, your shorts, it's not workout, it's not bench press. Sometimes it is, right? It's descriptive, but you have this sentence. Here I am, failure, a traditional title, right? Would you agree?
No,
what are you doing there? Is that you're trying to get some additional?
Correct. And not keyword loading, but I'm putting a lot of the words in there that people want to see. And also, those are the movements that I'm doing. They're hard and I'm pushing myself as far as I can potentially go. So I use the verbiage in the description and the title that kind of displays that a little bit, at least in word speak. So I think that's helping. And they're not traditionally labeled either. And people can see it. It's not a misleading thing. They see it and they're like, oh, that makes sense because he's about to blow.
But they're still doing well despite not doing, like a header, like bench press, 500 pounds, and then to capture that. But it's just like a sentence of what you're doing,
right?
Essentially.
And it seems like that is really working, make sure the harness is tight. It's not an S&M device when I do the neck thing, and how to truly work for failure for massive growth, count the sets, or, count up to a certain point and then forget the number, certain things like that. And I think that does, I just hard to believe how many people are watching. It's a blessing. It's amazing.
Yeah, no, that's good.
You did that video. This is for everybody else. So if you're in business and you're looking to make your business better online, don't neglect a personal touch. So Tim did this video. He was cooking eggs and it just went crazy. Eggs. He's cooking eggs, not fancy eggs, just eggs. But and the camera wasn't even, it was just perfect.
It's so bizarre. We put a lot of effort into our videos, our shorts, whatever we're doing, with really good content like this. People need to know this, and it'll get like 5 views.
Yeah.
I cook eggs. The camera's all over the place. I'm holding the camera in one hand, spatula in the other, flipping eggs, and like 5,000 views, something stupid. And that's what do I tell you? My response, I go, this algorithm is just stupid. Like, why? Who watched that? 5,000, 7,000 people watched that video. it's 12 seconds long, and it's just like, and then I'll do a video about, hey, here's how you can save XYZ on your divorce, and it drops dead.
I have one word for you: tetrahydrocannabinol. I think that's probably why they sit and watch that over and over.
Is that short for THC?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, this is great. I can watch this again, so I will. And just leave
people commented on it, like, why are you just cooking egg yolks? And it's just no, it didn't help my brand at all. Just to show you how ridiculous, social media can be sometimes.
You never know. And that's another thing, folks. Unplug every once in a while. Put that phone down. Don't panic. Just put it down and relax for a little bit. You owe it to yourself. If you're not doing that.
Funny times. That's funny you remember that video.
Oh no!
Of all the videos I've done, that's the one you remember. See what I mean?
Well, no, and that's what kicked. After I saw that, like, oh my God! So then I started doing the workout stuff and putting that, and then it was amazing. But we can talk about how to save money on listing your house, or how to buy a house that, good, real valuable. Nah, they don't.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4 views.
I think we have some similarities in our channels, in that, if you look at how to grow subscribers and all that, I don't think that is our game, because people come into and then out of our service, right? They're not, if you're watching, like, we both follow some workout folks on YouTube, right? So you stay subscribed to them, you get the notifications, they put out additional content, you get notified, you watch it. And if you're into health and fitness, you'll continue to do that. People come into a real estate transaction, go out of a same thing. They do come through divorce, and then they're done. So they're not people that subscribe to our channel that we're trying to get to. I mean, if they happen to be there at the time, sure. But if you ever look at your analytics, mine say that of my subscribers, only 2%, I think, or less, are current subscribers, and 98% are based on search.
Right. Correct. Brand.
Are you saying the same thing on
the same exact thing?
Yeah. And that's great, because, they say you don't want to overload your subscribers. My subscribers aren't watching. So, they probably saw a video about how to do something, so they subscribe so they can remember to go back to that video.
Right.
But they're not waiting, to, like, hey, I can't wait till that next piece of amazing content comes out, because it may not be applicable to them. It might be about how to do a form they don't need help with, or something like that. Right. So,
and that's what I was going to say. Real estate's very kind of case in point. It's singular. So if somebody wants to sell a house, their house, they want to know what that house is worth. I can't do a specific video on that specific house. So it's going to be the overall value, which isn't important. So the best I could do on a subscription basis, maybe having a notification put in for those people to have some kind of a separate system, send them what their house is worth, kind of like a bank statement, showing what's going on in the neighborhood after they purchased. But even it's not presence like a bank account. It's there, it's running in the background, they're building equity or losing equity, whatever it may be. But it's not, you're right, it comes down to that time they want to do it, then they do it.
Yeah.
But other than that, you're right, 100%.
Yeah, because like I was saying, you watch these, how to succeed on YouTube, which I do quite a bit. It's the push is for subscribers, and I'm sure for certain channels that's important, but I don't think for ours it necessarily is, because we're trying to get the content out there, that evergreen content out there, that is not just somewhere at on the moment or current events or whatnot, but most of it is about how to do certain things, not salesy. So when they come to that point in their life that they need to sell their home or buy a home for you, or do a divorce, that they find our content, and they may not even subscribe at that time either. Right. But they're checking in, they found us. And I think, I don't know, how much of your business do you think you obtain through YouTube directly, or do you think that is just they know of you and then they find you on YouTube?
Yeah, I think it brings people back to my brand. They're curious, what does that mean? Fat to Fit Realtor, what's that all about? And then Connor with Honor. It brings them around. As far as directly attributing to YouTube, I've had one call this year from a cat named Philip, and he found me on YouTube, and he's going to use me to purchase a house and move out here in the next 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just not, and that was rare. I had never really had a call generated because he saw something, somebody saw something on YouTube and then track me down and then do the Google searching, which I think more millennials do that. I think a lot of people doing that research.
Yeah.
Our generation really, they're going to talk to the neighbor and, run to the guy at the supermarket kind of a thing.
Yeah. Yeah. That's interesting. I have, when people schedule calls on our website, that's how they can schedule consultations. I have a list of how did you find us?
Okay.
And so I can kind of see where those leads are coming from. And I would have to say that 40 to 50% of the people who schedule calls and then become clients of ours is directly through YouTube.
Interesting.
So it's a very high number. And then,
Wow.
The other will be maybe 10% social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever. Maybe 10% will be just through a Google search in general, not necessarily YouTube. And a very high percentage is referrals now, having done this 10 years. So maybe 30% referrals. So yeah. So if you add the Google and the YouTube, that's about 50% of clients coming in, at least for what they're clicking on when they schedule an appointment to say how they initially found us.
Found you.
So,
That's powerful. You do a hell of a job. I got to tell you.
Yeah,
Tim,
we do. I mean, you do 2 or 3 videos a day. I do. I have now consistently 1 a day, just a general upload of how to do something. And then I'm doing a broadcast every day, 5 days a week at 12. So, I mean, it's a lot. It's another 2 hours of your day beyond, the work we have to do.
The benefits there. It's easy to see. Businesses can do it. We can show them how. It's easy.
Yeah.
Well, it's time consuming, but once you get your head wrapped around it, it's not too bad.
I actually enjoy it. I find it relaxing. I find it, as if I'm going to if I can only do one thing that day, it's going to be the marketing aspect. Because once that goes out, I think we talked about this last week. It's like you'll do a bunch of videos. I'll get busy, and then I don't have time to do the videos, and then sales will drop. So I'm trying to be consistent now. Even when I'm busy, I know if I'm busy to remember to do your videos.
Yeah, you got that time blocked off and nothing interrupts you. We've made appointments with each other. Remember, we keep running into each other's schedule and these are the 2 hours I'm doing this and
exactly
and so on. But it's work. We're true to our craft, and I think that's the payoff at the end. And also we're true to our clients. So
it really we got to really consider doing reactions to maybe something on the news or some type of law enforcement thing. I think that'd be fun.
We'll start next Tuesday. Definitely.
Yeah, sounds good.
Start looking for stuff. It'll be good. So we have a guest coming on.
Yeah.
Next week.
Is next week the 21st?
Yeah. I think we're close to that, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that'll be a nice show to tune into. A safety person from Princess Cruises.
Oh, even better than that. He works in safety. And we're probably downplaying his role with Princess Cruises. And
I've already asked the AI what questions to ask a safety professional that works at Princess Cruises. Yeah.
Okay. So, did you see that there's a paid version now?
Yes. We talked about it. $20.
They had the most brilliant marketing strategy. They threw this amazing software out there for free. They had every news agency talking about it. It went crazy. And then, oh, by the way, it's going to be $20 because it's probably going to be a little too busy to, get on there.
Right.
But yeah, this Adam was a pilot.
Okay.
Ship pilot. That means they drive the boat.
Right.
So ask ChatGPT that.
Okay. I'll go back. That'll be perfect.
Well, I hope everyone enjoyed our Santa Clarita Insider Show Valentines edition.
Boy, it was full of hearts and pain and happiness and joy.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was really, really good. It's good to know that divorce kicks up after Valentine's. Good to see.
Just a tad. And maybe, for us, yes, but keep in mind we handle only amicable divorces. So, if people are going crazy at each other and not amicable, like someone asked me, hey, do you get super busy during the pandemic? People, going crazy living together. I said no, because everything stayed the same. Those folks are getting attorneys because they're ready to kill each other, right? They're not amicable. They're losing their shit.
They're hostile. Very good. All right, brother. Always good to see you, Tim.
All right, Connor. Take care. We'll see you next week.
Look forward to it, brother. Be safe.
All right. Take care.